Namaskar to all of you on this special and glorious event to remember key messages of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Jai Bhavani, Jai Shivaji. Shivaji Maharaj Global Hero is the hashtag and hashtag SMAP USA. Please watch us live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Zoom right now. Myself, Sujata Padmanabhan, and I am the moderator for this webinar that the SMAP Foundation organized to commemorate the great Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who was coronated this very month, 346 years ago. A golden moment that still breathes life today. A moment that still aspires and inspires, and how Shivaji's message towards unity and leadership came about. We'll be looking all the key messages of not just Shivaji Maharaj, but also other crucial Indian national heroes and their rich contributions to our society. I would like to remind our kind audience to please note the views expressed here may not reflect the views of the event organizers and SMAP Foundation. And I now request some audio visuals to be displayed with a roar of Shiv Garjana from the voice of young and tender.
Sahasra Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishvato Vritvam Dantishtatashangulam Shambho
Praud Pratap Purandar Kshatriya Kulavatans Sivvasanadishwar Go Brahman Pratipalaka Buddhivanta Kirtivanta Kulavanta Nitivanta Dhanavanta Samartyavanta Shriman Yogi Yogiraj Shri 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 Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Ki Jai!
India was a prosperous country. In the 16th century, India accounted for 25% of the world's total GDP. Many foreign invaders came to India in search of wealth. The invasion attempts by the Mughals, Portuguese, British, and others took place over a period of 1,000 years.
Local leaders resisted the invasion efforts as they protected Indians from inhumane atrocities. They also avoided the destruction of culture, customs, monuments, and civilization. We call them Indian national heroes. They preserved our heritage, our customs, and our way of life.
In the 12th century, Prithviraj Chauhan resisted invasion attempts for decades. As a flawless leader, he emphasized the message of national unity.
In South India, Raja Krishnadev Raya reigned from 1509 to 1529. He defeated Bijapur and Bahamani sultanates to protect local culture and customs. Mughal Emperor Babur considered him as the most powerful emperor of Indian subcontinent. Portuguese travelers indicated that the king was not only an able administrator but also an excellent general, leading from the front.
In the 16th century, Maharana Pratap Singh, a Rajput king of Mewar, demonstrated strong leadership in defending India from invasion. His defiance of the mighty Mughal Empire, almost alone and unaided by other Rajput states, constitute a glorious saga of valor.
In 1630, a legendary leader, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, was born. He was well known for his strong warrior code of ethics and noble character. Shivaji Maharaj founded Hindavi Swarajya, a guided democracy where there was equality, justice, and liberty for all citizens, regardless of their caste, creed, or religion.
On November 13th, 1780, another true national hero, Maharaja Ranjit Singh, was born. As a child, he lost his eyesight in his left eye, but he did not let that limitation come in the way of protecting people. He fought his first battle at the age of 10 and was proclaimed as the Maharaja of Punjab at age 21. Maharaja Ranjit Singh successfully united local confederacies and grew the Punjab region. Under his leadership, Khalsa army and government included Sikhs, Hindus, Muslims, Europeans, and others.
Rani Lakshmibai was the queen of the state of Jhansi in the 19th century. She was one of the leading figures of the Indian Rebellion of 1857 and became a symbol of resistance to the British Empire. In a British report, Hugh Rose, a British army officer, mentioned that Rani Lakshmibai was personable, clever, and beautiful, and that she was the most dangerous of all Indian leaders.
Today, we offer tribute to these national heroes for standing up for their people and sacrificing their lives to resist the forces of invasion and protecting our culture, our customs, and our way of life for centuries.
खूब लड़ी मर्दानी वो तो झांसी वाली रानी थी. I remember having read this in our NCERT books and CBSE education back in India. You know, it is important that we just do not acknowledge these heroes alone for their historical values only. There are so many more heroes that are there. There are countless heroes that are sung, unsung. We have to give all of them that importance. They have given great contributions to our society, and it's their messages that we need to spread. We have a duty to bring these heroes out of the pages of Indian history books, rekindle their messages such as unity in leadership, ethics, respect towards women, and being all-rounders. One such person making an attempt with his able team to spread this awareness, I know, is Shri Vijay Patil ji. Mr. Vijay Patil is a senior corporate executive who has been leading business strategy and risk management functions for renowned multinational brands for last 2 decades. He is a frequent speaker at leading industry conferences in USA. He was featured in newspapers like Wall Street Journal, Maharashtra Times, India Abroad, India West, and many others. Mr. Vijay Patil is a well-known social activist in Southern California and has been involved in various community service organizations for the last 30 years. Vivekananda Seva Mandal, Lions Club, Overseas Friends of BJP, Indian Cultural Society of Los Angeles, Hope Lift Foundation, you name it. He started Shivaji Maharaj America Parivar, or SMAP Foundation Inc. 3 years ago. With Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj as a role model, he is determined to make SMAP one of the prominent service organizations in the world. Let's learn more about SMAP's vision and mission from him.
We are still inspired by the 3 words, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. It creates energy, as Professor Patkule had said. The 3 words create energy when you say them loud and proud. The most important thing, which I'm looking at from a different angle, is Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj created this society called Hindavi Swaraj, the concept of self-rule, the concept of the people, for the people. And this was before the birth of America, 100 years before the birth of America. He developed a society that was completely merit-based. If you have talent in you, no matter which caste you belong to, which religion you come from, which region you come from, male, female, doesn't matter. It's an individual merit that matters. And liberty, equality, justice for all. Those are the values we live in Western society, in Indian society today. And those are the values that he cherished 300-400 years ago. So celebration of today is a coronation celebration, and in our mind, it was a significance of victory of the people's kingdom. The merit-based society can be established, can flourish, and that's the advantage of that. So just a little bit more on Hindavi Swaraj. Hindavi Swaraj, the concept was started by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and at some point in time, it was much larger, as you can see the map of India on the screen here, than what we had seen in other kingdoms. And then today, America accounts for 23.6% of world's GDP. There was a time in 1600s where Indian subcontinent accounted for 25% of world GDP. The prosperity was different back then. SMAP Foundation, I want to make sure we all on the same page about what SMAP does. We are a non-political organization. We are a non-profit government or non-government organization. We have four main goals: networking, unity, leadership, and community service. If you believe in our cause, if you have the same respect as we do as to our heritage, please join us. Become part of our Facebook network, YouTube network. SMAP Foundation is our website. We promote events. We host and promote events that are focused on showing India as a united nation, India as a united country. Shiv Jayanti celebration, Unity Day celebration in US is what we celebrate. Leadership, I would like to have Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Leadership Center in America and pretty much across the world, where we can teach leadership lessons from the life of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj to our young kids who are born in America and living in a different society. Community service is one of our key goals with the help of Vivekananda Seva Mandal, with the help of Each One Teach One, a non-profit organization. We have been trying to get into the community to help people who need some help. And one of the things we learned from the life of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj is leadership, loyalty, people is really important to make anything in life successful. It's a project, it's a task that you take on. It starts with a dedicated, determined, and qualified team of leaders. In USA, what you see here is a list of leaders that we have in US. Mona Lisa Kantkeji in Atlanta, Georgia. Rajan Vedakji is our advisor there. Rao Deshmukhji is part of the team, leadership team there. In Silicon Valley, we have Viraj Raoji and Jagdish Kulkarni in Silicon Valley, Bay Area. Vinit Chopreji is leading SMAP activities in Stamford, East Coast, Connecticut. Vijay Gaiji and Chaya Gaiji are our leaders who started this activity in Omaha, Nebraska. And here in Los Angeles, we have Vilas Jadavji and Ashok Madanji as our leaders to conduct most of the activities. We started the journey about 3 years ago, and we have a core team of people who have been with us from day one. Ashutoshji, Ashutosh Chistriji, Barasauji, Vasu Pawarji, Aparnaji, Shaileshji, and Jagdish Gaikwadji. That's our team since we started this organization. We also have very creative genius, as I call them. Pratnya Kuvadekarji, Kedar Deshpandeji, who is our digital genius, helping us with our technology needs. And Sonali Bhaveji and Sandeep Katreji. There are other members as well who have had tremendous, played tremendous role in making this organization. Very recently, we have also created a global network of leaders. This is the concept that we really put together. Anyone who has been successful in their careers and has shown respect for our Indian heritage. These are all NRIs living in different parts of the country. Professor Kshitij Patkulaji, he is in India, and then he is really helping us connect these dots internationally. We have Dr. Shashi Dharmadhikariji in Paris, France. I'm sure Francois knows him very well. We have Atul Padelkarji in Vancouver, Canada, who is leading the brand. Arun Patilji from Ghana, he's the managing director of a company, but is very strong fan of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and our Indian legacy. Deepak Shindeji from China is representing the values of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in local community. Dhananjay Mokashiji in UAE, Sainath Manzareji in UAE as well, Dubai. Then Santosh Kadamji in Oman, Suresh Wadhmareji in Kuwait, Shirin Kulkarniji in Finland, said, these are all living Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's values and promoting our Indian heritage in the local community in a very prominent leadership role. The names are pretty much brand in the local communities. Raju Subedarji from London. We have Ketan Bondreji. He's a president of Vivekananda Seva Mandal and has been really helping us reach out to the community in India when we try to do our community service work. Rahul Bagdeji from Shanghai, China. Mansi, she's in Mumbai. Rushali Paranjapeji from Malaysia. And as I said, this is our SMAP leadership network. Would like to take this Adarshi of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and all other leaders, Maharana Pratapji, internationally. Gajan Kolkadeji from Bahrain, Prashant Bilwarkarji from New Zealand, Bhavna Shindeji from Kenya, and Prachiti Talatiji from Dubai. This is just the beginning. We just started this very recently. But as you could see, our goal is to make Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj as an international brand. Everybody in the world should know about who Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was and what role he has played in building a very solid society back 400 years ago. And today, 400 years later, the three letters, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, is still inspiring millions of people. We would like to make that millions, billions of people. With that, I would request Bharat Sauji to talk about SMAP endorsement. We have been getting attention from many prominent people, as well as there are supporting organizations who are really helping us make our cause advanced. So Bharatji, if you could please take it over.
Sure, thanks. So we have a few endorsements we mentioned today. However, our biggest endorsers are you all attending our event today. Some of the noted endorsements we received was, one of them is directly a descendant of Shivaji Raje Bhosle is Udendra Raje Bhosle. We're very proud to get your endorsement, Udendra Raje Bhosle. We are equally thrilled to get endorsement from Governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, and the Insurance Commissioner of Georgia, John King. Also, we got endorsements from some noted individuals from India. That was Chief Minister of Gujarat, Vijay Rupani, and Devendra Fadnavis, ex-Chief Minister of Maharashtra. When we talk about Shivaji Maharaj, Baba Saheb Purandare names comes very together. He has endorsed our organization. We are equally thrilled to get those. Then some film celebrities like Mahesh Manjrekar, Bobby Bedi have endorsed us. Rasika Sunil, she actually attended our event a couple of times here when she was in US. We also have, apart from the individuals, there are a lot of supporting organizations, and the number is counting, increasing day by day. There are some non-profit and profit organizations, Five Dimensions, one of the noted entertainment company, Hope Be Late, a non-charitable organization, Each One Teach One, very interesting and important organization. We also have certain organizations from India supporting us now. We have Shiv Rajyabhishek from Surat, Gujarat. We have Maharashtra Mandal from France. We have VHP America from Los Angeles, Vivekananda Seva Mandal. And lastly, we have the North America Federation of India Association.
Thank you so much, Bharatji. That was wonderful. And also, I loved how you said the real endorsement is the people out there, our family, the big family that completely is mesmerized by the doings and teachings and leadership style and unity and so many messages that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj spread out in his lifetime and also beyond. Once again, to all our lovely viewers across the globe, Namaskar, you're at this special event to commemorate the Rajyabhishek of Shivaji Maharaj that made him the Chhatrapati 346 years ago. This month in June, actually, the SMAP Foundation is bringing to you this remembrance and how we can teach young and old the principles of a very fine man that still lives in our hearts with a lot of pride. Next, we have a young, dynamic, and a prominent leader in Southern California. He's a successful entrepreneur, social worker, who is currently the mayor pro tem of City of La Palma, California. Thank you, Nitesh Patel. The stage is yours. Please take it away.
Thank you very much. Namaskaram. It's my honor and privilege to be here. And I'm happy to introduce Francois Gautier, the world famous author, journalist, speaker, and community activist. Francois served as the South Asian correspondent for the many reputed French language dailies for the last 4 decades. He has interviewed many prime ministers in India, such as Shri Rajiv Gandhi, Shri Atul Bihari Vajpayee ji, and Shri Narendra Modi ji. He has written over 30 books. Francois has established an NGO foundation for advancement of cultural ties. He admires India and Indian history. He is a great advocate for the Indian culture and the way of our life. Francois was born and raised in Paris, France. He grew up studying history of a world-famous leader, Napoleon Bonaparte. But later, when he visited India and studied the life of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and fell in love for what he stood for. He then decided to dedicate his life to build Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Museum of India in history in Pune. Let's hear directly from him, his journey in establishing the museum and his views on leadership styles of the world-famous Napoleon Bonaparte and the great Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Let's welcome Francois Gautier.
So, of course, I'm brought up in Paris. My parents live near Napoleon's tomb, which if some of you who've been to Paris know that it's a very grand building in the heart of Paris, one of the most beautiful places of Paris. So I lived there. And of course, as a child, I was brought up in the glory of Napoleon. Every French children from kindergarten till high school, we are taught about the exploits of Napoleon. He was not only a great warrior, but he was a great statesman. He made many laws. Some of them are still used today in France. He was a visionary. He was the first one who thought about the united Europe. Shaurobindo praised him for that. So we all of us French people are brought in the glory of Napoleon. So when I came to India, I learned about Shivaji Maharaj, and I studied Indian history. After I covered Kashmir and I saw the exodus of the Kashmiri Pandits, I started studying Indian history. Aurangzeb, particularly Aurangzeb, played such an important role in Indian history. And if you study Aurangzeb, you come upon Shivaji Maharaj. And I realized quickly that Shivaji Maharaj was on par with Napoleon. Napoleon had huge armies. He had 100,000 people at his disposal. So he had a very powerful military might. But Shivaji Maharaj, like 300-400 men, and only his wit, his courage, the extraordinary courage, his vision, his devotion for Mother India. He stood against the most powerful emperor of the world, and Aurangzeb was the richest, most powerful emperor in the world. And Shivaji Maharaj, when he was born, the Mughal Empire was at its peak. But Shivaji Maharaj alone, he died at 52, so young, and alone, when he died, Shivaji Maharaj, the Mughal Empire started to crumble. And indeed, Aurangzeb wrote his will himself by hand. He was a very pious man. He had qualities also. And so he wrote by hand his will, and he said 2 things. He said, 1, never trust your sons, which showed what kind of man he had. And the second thing he said is that the biggest mistake in my life was to let Shivaji Maharaj escape from Agra, because he had him under his grip in Agra. And Shivaji Maharaj, in spite of 7 layers of security, managed again with his wits and extraordinary courage to escape Aurangzeb and to restart his fight. So I was in awe of Shivaji Maharaj before coming to Pune. And then my wife and I, we are teachers of pranayama, of Shiv Rajyabhishek, his techniques. We are advanced teachers of his techniques. So I had a course in Pune, and the course was outside Pune. And after the course, I had some time, so I thought, let me go and see the museum of Shivaji Maharaj. Like in Paris, Pune is the city of Shivaji Maharaj. There must be a kind of Lesamadi, a huge museum dedicated to the glory and the might of Shivaji Maharaj. So I told my driver to take me to the main museum, which I thought would be Shivaji Maharaj Museum. And he took me, I don't know how many of you know Pune, to the Kalka Museum, which is the biggest museum in Pune. So I entered the Kalka Museum. Indeed, it's an imposing museum. There was not a single exhibit in Shivaji Maharaj. I was shocked. There were lots of things, lots of artifacts, rich museum, lots of artifacts and paintings and marble thing and this thing and that thing. Not a single exhibit on Shivaji Maharaj in the city of Pune. So I was shocked, and I inquired, and later I learned, the tassels between, there's as usual in India, the British have taken over. They have divided the followers of Shivaji Maharaj in two camps. Anyway, that's another story. So that day I thought, I'm a Frenchman, very arrogant, a little bit militant. So I thought I should do maybe something about Shivaji Maharaj. He's a great man. He's bigger than Napoleon, because I was studying him. I realized that, he was not only a great warrior, he was a great administrator. He started the first navy in India. Whatever he wanted, he built forts, he delegated power, he had administrators, people trusted him, he had generals and lieutenants, who gave his life for him. And also he was a very secular person. He never harmed the women or daughters of his enemies, you know how it is, when the son brought some lady prisoners, Muslim lady prisoners, he scolded him and told him, take them back with honor. So very secular person, in the right spirit. He was a Hindu, he fought for India, he thought that Aurangzeb was a foreigner, and one should fight against foreigners. So nationalist man, very powerful nationalist man, but secular, in the right spirit, that would not harm, either the women of his enemies or the mosque of his enemies. He donated to Sufis. So I thought that maybe I should do something. And I had started some exhibition after I covered Kashmir. I was touched by the plight of the Hindus of Kashmir. Kashmir divided in three, but in those days there was only one Kashmir, to the Valley of Kashmir. And I covered a lot for my newspapers, the Valley of Kashmir between 1990 and maybe 2000. I spent a lot of time there. And I saw the Hindus, very harmless people, defenseless people, who had shed out. The biggest ethnic cleansing of the 20th century, is that of the Hindus of Kashmir, the Valley of Kashmir, who became refugees in their own country and then scattered all over the world. So I was very touched by the plight, and I decided to do an exhibition on them. So I did the first exhibition on the Kashmiri Pandits. He was inaugurated in Delhi in Habitat Center, which is a very central, prestigious place by Mr. L.K. Advani, who was then the Vice Prime Minister of India. Then Shiv Rajyabhishek who supported me, and Dr. Karan Singh also came. So I had this first exhibition. Then I did a second exhibition on Aurangzeb, because Aurangzeb is a very crucial person in the history of India. Very cruel to his own family. He beheaded his brother, he imprisoned his son, he imprisoned his father and poisoned him slowly. A very cruel person, but a very meticulous person. So I did an exhibition on Aurangzeb. Then if you do Aurangzeb, you have to do Shivaji Maharaj. So I did an exhibition Shivaji Maharaj, beautiful painting exhibition in the old, miniature style. It was done in Jaipur with a professor of Indian history, Professor V.S. Bhatnagar, and a team of painters. So Shivaji Maharaj, great man of India. We have Napoleon, and he's in every book, every film. Every year there are films and books about him. Shivaji Maharaj, I don't know. The last book of value written about him is at least 30, 40 years. They hardly, when I printed my exhibition in Pondicherry, I live part-time in Pondicherry, the people who printed it, good people, Tamil Hindus, they thought it was Shivaji the actor. There was a famous actor in Tamil Nadu called Shivaji. So Shivaji Maharaj was the Napoleon of India, national hero. He's not so well known actually. or is known as a statue, but his values, what he embodied, is something which is left behind. When I was in Pune, I felt, I don't know, maybe it's my imagination, but I felt his presence, that every great man leaves something behind, not statue, but a feeling, a spirit. So the spirit of Shivaji Maharaj is still there today. It is there. The courage, the devotion to Mother India. I think Mr. Modi embodies some of this quality that that is used to embody some of these qualities. So when I have several exhibitions, I had done exhibition on the Kashmiri Pandit, Aurangzeb, Shivaji Maharaj, Naxalism, several exhibitions. I used to inaugurate them in Habitat Center or Bangalore or Bombay or Pune. One of them was inaugurated by Mr. Modi, who was then the Chief Minister of Gujarat. So I had many exhibitions. I would inaugurate them and then store them. I had rented the place in Pune. And then Shiv Rajyabhishek, whom I told you, we are teachers of his techniques, and I wrote his biography, told me he had some land near the Pune airport. And he said, why don't you take that land and you can put your exhibition there? So we got the land. At that time, it was a very barren land. It was outside Pune. There was no water, only rocks. So I got that land. Can you hear me well now? Better?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Right. So I got that land, and the first thing I did, because I'm a devotee of Mother India, of Bharat Mata, I drove from Paris to Pondicherry and to Delhi first, and when I came to India, I felt that there was a presence in the earth, in the body of India, which was feminine, which what people call the Shakti or Mother India. I felt that presence when I first came to Delhi from Paris, and I felt it again in Pune. I felt it in different places, in Almora, in Pune, in Delhi. So the first thing I did on that rocky land is to do a temple dedicated to Shivaji Maharaj and Bharat Mata and Mother India. So we built a temple, which is like a shrine to Shivaji Maharaj, and it was inaugurated by Shiv Rajyabhishek and Mr. Nitin Gadkari, who then was president of the BJP. And then my first wall was dedicated to Shivaji Maharaj. The museum is called the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Museum of Indian History. So my idea was to build a museum dedicated to the greatest warrior of India, to probably one of the greatest men ever of India, which depicts Indian history as it happened, not as it has been written. Because when I started studying Indian history and writing books about Indian history, I realized, like all of you know now, that Indian history was mostly written by the British, and then in 1947, for good and bad reasons, the first Prime Minister of India decided to, take over whatever the British had left, education, history, legislation, democracy, and clamp it upon independent India. So Indian history is not written as it happened. Shivaji Maharaj, for instance, there are a few lines, sometimes, derogatory lines, in most Indian history books, Western history books, Aurangzeb is much more praised, it takes much more place than Shivaji Maharaj, but actually, Shivaji Maharaj rightly considered Aurangzeb to be, at that time, a foreigner, an invader, and Shivaji Maharaj was a true nationalist. So, in that museum now we have 16 pavilions, and dedicated to Shivaji Maharaj. And I feel, I have fulfilled my, my first inkling, which was, let me do something for Shivaji Maharaj. He's such a great man. And it's a pity that, the Napoleon of India, greater than Napoleon, maybe, is mostly ignored, in India. And in the West, nobody knows about him. I mean, you know about Napoleon, all over the world people know about Napoleon, but Shivaji Maharaj should be known the same way, all over the world. So this museum, which has been, a little bit difficult task, because we have an exhibition on the Goa Inquisition, for instance. We have an exhibition on Hindu Holocaust, because the Hindus have suffered a lot from the Hindu Kush, till Mumbai 2011. So an entire exhibition dedicated to you know, the slaughtering of Hindus, and their exhibition.
I think we're losing your audio, Francois. Can you please?
Again,
Yes,
my
now
audio
we're
is not
back. I
good.
think we're good. Yes.
All right. So, series of exhibition on the great women of India, great warriors, you know, like Aliabai. We have now, we are doing Rani Kitu Chennamma of Karnataka. We're doing Tarabai of Maharashtra at the moment. So many exhibitions are going on, and this museum, you know, I've written many articles, many books, but I feel that this museum dedicated to Shivaji Maharaj is something that I will leave behind me. And it's a bit like my debt to India. India has given me a lot, you know, the moment I came very young to India, you know, till now, you know, I felt that, you know, there is a great knowledge in India. You know, who am I? What am I reborn? You know, whatever the Bhagavad Gita says, you know, it's like it should be the Bible of the world. Also, India is a country of great tolerance, great gentleness. You know, I'm married to an Indian. You know, I have met so many extraordinary people in India, from humble people in the countryside, you know, to the Dalai Lama, to Shiv Rajyabhishek, to Mata Amritananda Lamai. So many great people I've met. So I have a gratitude towards India, and this museum dedicated to the great Shivaji Maharaj is my seva. My wife and I, we're doing this seva because I feel as a Frenchman, as a, you know, lover of Napoleon, that Shivaji Maharaj merits much more than what that history has given him. Much more. And I hope that the government, you know, will do something about him. Not only statues, you know, because if you see Mahatma Gandhi, there are millions of statues of him in India, millions of streets named after him. But the values he embodied are not, you know, they're not respected. They're not lived in. So the same of Shivaji Maharaj. It's good to do a huge statue of him, but the values he embodied of courage, of dedication to Mother India, of nationalism, of non-corruption, you know, of secularism, these are the values that India needs to emulate, to live. Am I making myself clear?
Absolutely, Francois, sir. That's so beautifully said. Actually, I really appreciate. And yes, and that is one of the things, the message of spreading the kind of teachings that he spread by his actions, right? I think the fact that he was such a noble person in terms of his
Right.
leadership style, um, and and that actually makes me ask you, it is one thing to actually come to India and get inspired, and it's another thing to actually devote your life towards something like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. What was that inspiration for you? Why that kind of thought?
No, but you know, there were great civilizations. I mean, if you have studied history, there were Greece and Rome and Egypt and Mesopotamia, you know, so many great civilizations. They say that the first great civilization was Africa. So they all had a knowledge, you know, about the self, about life, about death, about, you know, God, that God may be born as he or she, that takes different names at different times, you know, different scriptures. But this knowledge died in Egypt, it died in Rome, it died in Mesopotamia, it died in Atlantis, you know, but it remained alive in India. In spite of so many onslaughts, you know, people like Shivaji Maharaj made sure that this knowledge, in fact, I felt, you know, from the beginning that because of the sacrifice of Shivaji Maharaj, from Bombay till, you know, Kanyakumari, you know, I live partly in the south. I keep shuttling between Delhi, Pune, and Pondicherry. Now, the moment you cross, you know, you cross Bombay and you come down south, you know, the culture is better preserved, you know, the temples are better preserved, you know, women are safer. So what Shivaji Maharaj did with a few hundred men is that he protected Indian culture, you know, and the soul of India from Bombay till Kanyakumari. So extraordinary work with a few hundred people. So my gratitude is that in this country, India, you know, when I started freelancing, I first started freelancing because I drove from Paris to Delhi and then Pondicherry. In Pondicherry, I met the mother of Pondicherry. She was the companion of Sri Aurobindo. You heard about Sri Aurobindo?
Yes.
So she was the companion of Shiv Rajyabhishek. When Shiv Rajyabhishek died in 1950, she continued his work. And she was a great yogini. I met her, I had the privilege of meeting her, and it changed my life. So I stayed, for 7 years in the ashram of Pondicherry. And then she died. And so when the guru dies, you feel lost. So I started doing freelancing, and I started doing freelancing in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And I felt that the people of India, in the West, you think, oh, I have to be good, I have to do, it's all in the head. I have to do charity, I should not steal, I should not kill. But I felt like the simple people, the rural people of India, whom I met in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, they had this in their genes, not in their mind. In their genes, they had the goodness and acceptance. I was there, a Westerner, with my cameras, my ignorance, but they accepted me. So my first input of India after Pondicherry, of course, was that, the simple people of India, the rural people of India, they have, generation after generation of that knowledge in their genes, in their genes, that God may be many. In the West, we think that there is only one God, it is mine. The Christians, I'm born in a Catholic family, good people. My uncle was a Catholic priest, my father was a fervent Catholic, good people. But they think only my God is true. There's no other God. All the other gods are false. The same thing is true of Islam. Only my God is true. I may convert you, even kill you, if you don't believe in my God. But in India, the simple people have a knowledge that God is many. That they may have in their house image of Krishna, of Buddha, of the Kaaba, of Mohammed, of the Sikh gurus, even of Kennedy,
Right.
So there is a, again, not in the mind, in the genes, there is the knowledge that God is many.
Right.
That when I die, only my body dies. I'm reborn again. So
Right.
I'm grateful to India because I found this knowledge in India, which I was looking for as a young Westerner. Who am I?
Right.
What am I doing? What is the purpose of life? So my gratitude to India is that it's the only civilization, thanks to people like Shivaji Maharaj, who preserved that knowledge which once roamed upon the world. Once upon the world, that knowledge was there in different forms, but the same knowledge. So it's only preserved in India today. And
Yes.
as Swami Vivekananda said, India needs to become the guru of the world, actually.
We would like to hear your thoughts on Napoleon as well as Shivaji Maharaj and your thoughts on that without comparing the two, but the fact that you got really fascinated about them.
Okay. So I'll come back to Sri Aurobindo because probably Sri Aurobindo, was the greatest exponent of Indian spirituality. He's written a book called The Foundations of Indian Culture. Have you heard about that book? He wrote that book because there was a British journalist called Archer who said that there was nothing much of value in Indian philosophy, Indian architecture, Indian painting. So Aurobindo wrote a book called The Foundations of Indian Culture. In that book, he said that Napoleon was a vibhuti. As you know better than me, that the Indian concept of a vibhuti is a divine instrument. There's a divine instrument who comes upon us to perform a certain task and then goes away. Shivaji Maharaj died very young at 52, but I think his work was done. He brought down the Mughal Empire, and he preserved Indian culture and ethos, from Mumbai to Kanyakumari, which was very, very important and still very important today because you go from Delhi, which is a very arrogant, self-centered city, and you come to Chennai or Bangalore, Andhra Pradesh, and you feel the difference. You feel that the work of Shivaji Maharaj was done. And Shobhita said the same thing about Napoleon, that he was a vibhuti. So it's a little more baffling that for Shivaji Maharaj because Napoleon, died bitten. He was actually bitten by the British and the Allied, the European, the monarchies, allied against him. And finally he was beaten and taken prisoner and exiled in, on the St. Helena Island. But what Shiromiti argued is that Napoleon had a vision of a unified Europe, and Europe, it happened, 400 years later. Today, in spite of the coronavirus, because coronavirus has, toppled a lot of things, but in spite of it, Europe was born. The idea of of a bloc unity of European nation, which Napoleon had, in those days, and which he tried to enforce, came to fruit. And today Europe, is united. Though there are problems here and there, but it's still going to persist. So both Napoleon and Shivaji Maharaj were vibhutis. The difference between them, they're both vibhutis. So they're both divine instruments, sent by whoever you call it, the divine, or whoever you call it, he or she or it, sent by the divine to do a certain task. So both Napoleon and Shivaji Maharaj were vibhutis. Now, Napoleon is known all over the world and is revered in France still today. Still today, children, and people have a pride of Napoleon. Every great man who dies, is buried in the Les Invalides, which is the tomb of Napoleon. Every tourist who comes to Paris goes to Les Invalides, which is the tomb and the museum of Napoleon. So, Napoleon, has today the reputation, and the glory he deserves, but not Shivaji Maharaj. Though they were both vibhuti, India turned its back on Shivaji Maharaj, you see.
That's wonderful. And my next question, a lot of the listeners are asking for your address of that museum in India, which of course we're able to Google and we're able to do it, but we'd also like to hear from you. And also, when are you traveling that museum and bringing it to United States of America and rest of the world? I think this museum needs to travel. We all need to see it.
Right. So the museum, I started the foundation after the Kashmir, when I saw what happened to the Hindus of Kashmir, called FACT, FACT. It stands for Foundation Against Continuing Terrorism, FACT. So the museum is called FACT Museum, FACT Museum in one word, .com. And on the website, which is our website, there is a Google map, how to go. The museum is about 12 minutes away from the Pune airport after the Lohegaon village. The airport of Pune, I don't know how many of you are from Pune, but the airport in Pune is called after Lohegaon, which is a village. So my museum is just beyond Lohegaon. And if you go on FACT Museum, you can see the Google map and how to go there. So it's about 12 minutes from the airport, beyond Viman Nagar. And yes, I do go to Pune. I keep doing exhibitions. So it's actually a one-man show. I have the support of my wonderful wife. I'm married to an Indian from Delhi, and she's been a great support. So it is not really a thing. She's a textile designer, but she got great support. I have someone in Mumbai called Gautier who's our Maharashtra coordinator, and we have done many exhibitions in Bombay with her. Earned the respect, of his soldiers. I think they were Muslims in his army also, but especially of his close lieutenants. Because his extraordinary courage, his example in leading in front. Is the way he confronted Abdal Khan. And his qualities. His secular qualities. The secular qualities of someone who can fight, who can fight unto death, but has respect for the enemy, has respect for his women and daughters, has respect for their shrine. These are, he was, I don't think after him, there was Maharana Pratap. I don't think after him, there was a leader of that caliber. I don't think after Shivaji Maharaj, like Napoleon, before Napoleon, we had Charlemagne, there were other great warriors. But of the caliber of Napoleon, I don't think that anybody came after that. There was de Gaulle, General de Gaulle, who fought the Germans, in the Second World War. But I wouldn't put him on the level of Napoleon. So the same is true of Shivaji Maharaj. After him, there was Maharana Pratap. Maharana Pratap was also someone who was extremely courageous. He fought Akbar. He was the only Rajput who actually fought the Mughals. People think that the Rajputs were warriors, but they all gave their daughters or they gave money, tributes to the Mughals. But Shivaji Maharaj fought, Maharana Pratap fought, Akbar, who was the best of the Mughal emperors. Akbar wanted to make friends with Maharana Pratap, and Maharana Pratap refused. And like Shivaji Maharaj, he lived a very simple life. He never lived in the palace. And he also held his ground against Akbar in Al-Digati. So we have an exhibition also of Maharana Pratap, because after Shivaji Maharaj, there is Maharana Pratap, and of course there is a great kingdom of Vijayanagar, but I think, Shivaji Maharaj, is but again, not statues, not, how can we embody his qualities? How can Indians, the most wonderful people on the earth today, the Hindus of India, most wonderful people, the Marathis, most wonderful people, but, and they've kept everything, but they lost, the courage, the fearlessness of Shivaji Maharaj. We see today against China. I mean, Indian Army, I spent a lot of time with the Indian Army, wonderful officers, wonderful soldiers, but, the boldness, the cunning of, and the vision of Shivaji Maharaj is lost. And especially among the ordinary Hindus, they're preoccupied with their daughters, with their sons, their education, making money, good people, but they've lost that. My country, what can I do for my country? What Kennedy said, what can I do for my country? What can I do for India? And so we need to recapture. I feel the spirit of Shivaji Maharaj is still present. I mean, when I came to Pune, whether it was my imagination or not, but I was innocent, I didn't know much, but I felt that, the spirit is still there. But Shivaji Maharaj is still there. So we need to recapture this India. I think Mr. Modi in some ways did, but now he's in Delhi, it's complicated, So as a whole, the people of India, the Marathis, the Hindus, need to recapture the qualities of Shiva. And this is my fight, actually. This is what, I have my faults, like everybody, I have my faults, but I felt that this man, embodied some extraordinary qualities like Napoleon did. But he was more victorious than Napoleon. Napoleon died, broken. Shivaji Maharaj died, a hero. He died at 52, of a wound of natural causes, but he didn't die as a prisoner. He didn't die, killed by the enemy. He died in his own terms. He was a vibhuti. He went back to wherever he came. So he died, a god. So what is needed, is to recapture in India these values of Shivaji Maharaj. They're there. They're there. I think Mr. Modi got some of them. Some other people got some of them, but especially, the devotion to Mother India. This is why I made the temple first. The devotion to the country. We don't have to say Mother India. We can say devotion. The Chinese have that. They don't believe Mother India, but they're devoted to their country. They're ready to die for the country, and they're topping in everything today. Their phones and the best hackers in the world. The soldiers. They build planes. India has lost that. The back of India was broken by invasions. Shivaji Maharaj, was not scared by anything. He fought the most powerful man in the world, most powerful army, without fear, without fear, with a few hundred men. So this is what India needs to recapture.
So one of the things I wanted to know, Francois, this is so enlightening. This is so inspiring. How can we teach these values to our kids? I mean, it's very important that
it should be taught in school. That's all. It's simple. Shivaji Maharaj, this government, is elected mostly by Hindus. Shivaji Maharaj should be, emphasized, propped up in every history books. Every curriculum from the kindergarten. Like they have in France. You talk about Shivaji Maharaj, his escape from Agra, he's building the navy, but it's not there. You have an English education in India. It's just, it's just an English education, not much different from what you get in the West. So you have a great hero, but you're not, unless you elevate him, how can people, get his qualities? And unless people know about him, unless the youth of India knows about, feels proud, oh, we had Shivaji Maharaj, okay, the French had Napoleon, but we had Shivaji Maharaj, but they don't know, And very few people know. I mean, a tiny minority knows about Shivaji Maharaj. So What's important is that only the government of India can do it. We introduce Shivaji Maharaj in every curriculum, every history book. Prop him up as a Napoleon of India. Only Mr. Modi can do it. But I have seen three HRD ministers, from Smriti Irani to Mr. Javadekar to the present one, nobody did anything. So I don't know what to say. I'm a Frenchman, I'm a Frenchman, but
No,
it has
I
to be
think
done, I guess.
what is more important is to know that what you know is sadly that what we don't know. Why is that? And that is something for me to learn, for me to know that I need to read more about our own history and get acquainted to know more about our heroes to be able to pass on this thing. But having said that, there's other things that we realize that we have such rich heritage when it comes to national heroes, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, that one person that imbibes almost every good quality we can imagine. But also areas such as Ayurveda, such as Indian spices, it seems like others appreciate more than what we do. There is a saying, "Ghar ki murgi dal barabar," right? It's more like we take it for granted. We don't know how to respect and appreciate our own richness that we possess.
No,
Are we losing that?
what you're doing already, your society, your Shivaji Maharaj America, something, not many people are doing that. So this is valuable. What you're doing is valuable. But you need to, it's the youth of India that needs to be, soaked into Shivaji Maharaj's qualities and worship him, So, unless this happened at the root, at the grassroots, unless the children of India learn about Shiva very young, and grow up knowing what Shiva, then it will spread, then it will happen. But it's not happened yet, It's small. You have one Frenchman doing something, then you are doing something. It's not enough, And in Maharashtra, I'm sorry to say, but the Congress, the NCP has divided, the followers of Shivaji Maharaj. On one side, most of the scholars on Shivaji Maharaj are Brahmins or upper caste, but then there are also many, simple people who are either converted to Buddhism, the Dalits, or they follow the Ambedkar, but they also love Shivaji Maharaj, they're Marathi. So the politicians have divided them, and it's very sad. This is why when I went to the Kalka Museum, there was nothing about Shivaji Maharaj because it's become a touchy subject in Maharashtra. When in my museum, the Dalai Lama came because I have interviewed the Dalai Lama many times. I love him very much. So I did an exhibition on the Tibetan genocide because the Chinese have killed 1 million Tibetans. So I did an exhibition there, and he came to inaugurate it. So when he came to inaugurate it, he's a very protected man. He's got state security. So the CID came, the CIB, the intelligence came, and there was a statue of Shivaji Maharaj which I put on the road, just at the entrance of the museum, and the police asked me to remove it. How is it possible? How is it possible that in the city of Shivaji Maharaj, and most of the police were Marathis, how is it possible that you have a statue of Shivaji Maharaj removed? How can Shivaji Maharaj become a controversial subject? Napoleon isn't. Okay, there might be few people who, criticize him because he was, he was an army man, he was a soldier. But on the whole, the French respect him. Now, how is it possible that Shivaji Maharaj, in his home city in Maharashtra, is a controversial person that you have to remove a statue? Sorry, I'm baffled.
Right.
I'm baffled.
Well, right. And I think I have to just remind one more time, SMAP Foundation is non-political in that sense, and the views are totally as how we speak. And this is an interesting progression of the way you're putting it. One of the teachings overall and his leadership, strategic way of handling things, and overall the perception that you have on Shivaji Maharaj, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. We would like to hear more from you, sir.
No, so, you have to reach to the young. The thing is, I can convince you, you're already convinced, but you need to reach to the young, to the college students. And for that, we need to make Shivaji Maharaj, digital. Bring him, in animated films, great animated films. I was thinking for a long time about games, the way he escaped from Agra, seven layers of soldiers, and then he went a different route, so, that was not expected of him. So make a game, people play games all the time now. I've been asking for so many software guys, please make me a game about Shivaji Maharaj's escape from Agra. It's an extraordinary thing. It will make an extraordinary game,
Yeah.
and it will teach Indian children, Indian youth, playfully, the greatness of Shivaji Maharaj. So we need to bring him to the youth. Forget about the old people. You have to bring him to the youth, and for that you use touch TVs, or you touch, you learn about his mother, you learn about his wife, you learn about his exploits when he went to the south, you learn, and games also, The Shivaji Maharaj, the way he conquered fort, the way he beat Afzal Khan, so many games can be made, Instead of killing people, in this stupid video game, have, video games that teach you Indian history at the same time that are fun. So that's been my idea for a long time. For the moment, I don't have the funds because my museum depends entirely on donations, and it's very difficult to get donation for a museum. But I've been thinking for a long time that Shivaji Maharaj needs to become digital, because this is now happening now on social media and small animated films, small things of his life to make it, animated film, and games, so that you bring it to the youth in a playful manner. That would be my last message.
That is wonderful. There is more questions coming in. We have a question where somebody is asking me how do you think Shivaji Maharaj managed to run the kingdom with so many enemies? How was he able to do that so successfully?
So you see, he was a yogi. One second, I just switch off my. He was a yogi, so yogis have intuition. He was a warrior, but he was a warrior yogi. So yogis have intuition. Intuition means, what intuition is. It is not the reasoning mind alone. It's, some kind of, you reach a certain state, or you're born with a certain state of, inner calm or inner capacity, and then you get an intuition. This is what I should do. So Shivaji Maharaj, I think, I have not met him, but he had intuition. He knew where the enemy was. He knew what to do. He was inspired. So whether he was inspired by brute force or whether he was inspired, by his own intelligence, but he was definitely inspired. So was Napoleon. They make mistakes. Even vibhutis, are humans. They're not avatars. You can say that avatars, are divine, totally divine. Vibhutis are instruments. But still, he was an inspired man. So he was a yogi. I'm sure there was, and that's why he was loved so much and respected by his friend, because there was a yogi in him. He embodied not only the qualities of a warrior, but of a yogi who was inspired. So the way he escaped from Agra, the way he beat his enemies, the way he escaped, all the time, the way he attacked, this lightning attacks like Shasta, is because he was also yogi. So that seems to me the most, logical explanation to his bravery and to the extraordinary success with so few soldiers, so few soldiers. Contrary to Napoleon.
Yes. A lot of those strategic moves, I think, should also be taught to, apart from the fact that you suggested such a wonderful thing about video games concept. Silicon Valley, if you're listening, if you're hearing all you IT people, you should probably be looking at something like that. We encourage that, something that will be so delightful for our kids to learn, and probably for us. And I also think some strategic moves, do you think that should be inculcated in studies for, MBAs and stuff like that, where, the way he strategically dealt with it could be a real life teaching example?
Sure. Yeah, I agree. It should be like that, we should have, but again, it's only the Indian government that can do it. Mr. Narendra Modi came to my inauguration of the Shivaji Maharaj exhibition in Mumbai. He flew specially from Gujarat, and he came to inaugurate that exhibition. So he knows about Shivaji Maharaj. He saw the exhibition. He spoke very brilliantly in Hindi about Shivaji Maharaj at this inauguration. There was a Shiv Rajyabhishek, there was Vinod Khanna, the actor who now died. There was the president of the BJP Maharashtra, who also died. I forgot his name. So Mr. Narendra Modi knows about Shivaji Maharaj, and I think he has also some of this quality. He has some intuition. Some of his early decisions, are definitely, inspired. I wouldn't say the vibhuti because I don't know. It's too early to say, but he knows about Shivaji Maharaj. But of course, there are so many pressing. India is such a complicated country to govern, and there's so many pressing problems, with Kashmir, especially with China now, that probably Shivaji Maharaj is not, at the forefront of his thoughts. But I will remind him when I meet him, or if I have a chance to talk to him, I will remind him that it's important that the youth of India learns about Shivaji Maharaj, and the qualities of Shivaji Maharaj, are reincarnated again, in India.
Okay. Any particular story that it comes to your mind from the history of, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj that particularly that you thought was exemplary, something, a story, any escape that you want to narrate to us, please?
No. So I'm doing. I have done 2 exhibitions on Shivaji Maharaj. Now I'm doing a new one on the Shakti of Shivaji Maharaj. The Shakti, not only the feminine element, because he was very attached to his mother, and I think his mother played a very important role in his life. She's the one who, through storytelling of the Mahabharata, of the Ramayana, of different Marathi stories, inspired him to be devoted to the country. But Shivaji Maharaj also was a great devotee of the Shakti. We have done the paintings of him, he worshipped the Shakti. So the Shakti element is very important in India, I feel, that no man moves without, the Shakti. Sri Aurobindo said, without her, I'm manifest. Without her, without the power of the Shakti, I'm unmanifest. So in the same way, Shivaji Maharaj had a powerful Shakti. Not only his mother is influenced, but the fact that he viewed India, as a body, as feminine, as something that needed to be protected, needed to be worshipped. So we are doing a new exhibition on the Shakti of Shivaji Maharaj. So the different Shakti element that came in his life, his mother, his wives, the worship of the Shakti of Kali. So I would say that it's very important for me that India is feminine. When I first came to India, I felt that the body of India is feminine, Mother India, Bharat Mata. So we should, the children of India should know about that, that India has a great Shakti, and we need to worship her, and we need to revive her, we need to protect her. And Shivaji Maharaj was a great protector of the Shakti. So there's one aspect, Shivaji Maharaj, which I cherish, and I would like to conclude with that, is that he was a worshipper of the Shakti. He felt that India, was a mother, was a body, was a Devi, and he worshipped her and he defended her. He felt that, she was wounded, she was attacked by the enemy, she was attacked by the Asura, and he rose up, like others, like Maharana Pratap and so many others, like Devaraja, Vijayanagar, but he rose up to defend the Shakti. And I feel, that it's so important. It's so important. And you still feel the Shakti in India. I'm married to an Indian, but I see also in the villages that women still play a very important part. They might be behind the scenes, there might be excesses, but the Shakti is still very present in India, and Shivaji Maharaj worshipped the Shakti. So again, what we need not to statues of Shivaji Maharaj. We need to revive his values. We need to imbibe them in the children of India, in the youth of India, that they feel proud, like the French feel proud about Napoleon, and that they live his qualities. That these qualities are revived in India.
Thank you so much, Francois. And I think that is what is required. We need to ignite our minds. We need to ignite our voices. We need to make this one. We need to respect the country and imbibe all the values that thankfully we got such inspiring lessons and learnings from you. And I would have Vijay Patil take over for the next vote of thanks, please.
Thank you, everyone. Hope you can hear me. So, Francois, I truly appreciate your dedication, commitment, and passion. You're probably the first person I've seen who grew up in a particular culture, got introduced to a new culture, and got so much fascinated with the new culture that you decided to devote your entire life for cause. That's awesome. That's really inspiring for other people like us. I mean, I grew up in Indian culture, right? I grew up with Indian value system. So I feel I haven't done enough to do for my own country. And that's not me. There are millions of people like me who are abroad, who are who have a significant thing in the life they could do, but now they should make it a priority to give back to their country. So the great point that you made. You made a comment about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj being in statues and not in values. I think I agree with that. We have Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in our minds, in our hearts, but it's time for us to pass it on to the next generation in terms of values that we learn from him. Spirit, of course, always going to be that. Inspiration, absolutely. Energy, no doubt about it. But it just the as I mentioned, the value system that we learn from the life of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj that needs to be passed on to the next generation. One. Two, you mentioned that we need to do this globally. There's a reason why Napoleon Bonaparte, the great leader of all time, is known internationally. The world knows about him. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, India knows about him. It's time for us to take that legacy, take that heritage, take that pride, take that inspiration on a global stage. And that's exactly what Shivaji Maharaj America Parivar is doing. As you had seen earlier, we started this in America 3 years ago. Now we are expanding it to other places around the world to literally fulfill the vision, the dream that you just said to us. So I think our interests are definitely aligned. We as a committee, as an organization here, would certainly like to support with some donation to your Chhatrapati Foundation. Hats off to you for doing this incredible work in India and making my mother country really proud. I really wanted to close this out by thanking the audience. I truly appreciate your commitment and dedication to join this. For some of you, it's midnight in India. For some of you, it's probably later than that in other parts of the world. So I truly appreciate your supporting this, and thank you so much for that. Ramesh ji, Ramesh Ramdani ji, Vilas ji, Sujata ji, truly appreciate. Kedar Deshpande ji, truly appreciate your running the event for us. And if 200 plus of you who attended the event, if you would like to join us, you'd like to be part of this momentum, part of this energy that we created, making Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Maharana Pratap, and all our national heroes a global icon, please join us. Please join us, smapfoundation.org, SMAP USA in all social medias. And thank you again. Thank you again, everyone else. And namaste, Jai Bhavani, Jai Shivaji. With that, we'll conclude today's event. Francois, thank you so much.